Lena Vasquez had been staring at Mount Vera since she was 6 years old. The mountain loomed over her village like an ancient god, its peak forever hidden behind swirling clouds. The elders called it the Unforgiving, a name earned from the countless climbers who had vanished on its slopes. But to Lena, it wasn't a monster. It was a challenge. A riddle waiting to be solved. "You're crazy if you think you can climb that," her older brother, Marco, scoffed one evening as they sat by the fire. "Even the best guides won't touch Vera anymore. Not after what happened to Dad." Lena's fingers tightened around her cup of tea. Their father had been a mountaineer, one of the best. 5 years ago, he had led an expedition up Vera's northern face. None of them returned. "I'm not giving up," Lena said quietly. Marco sighed. "You've been training for years. When will it be enough?" "When I reach the top." But she didn't say it aloud. At 24, Lena had saved enough money for her first real expedition. She hired 2 local climbers, Javier and Ria, both experienced but wary of Vera. "You know the stories," Javier muttered as they packed their gear. "They say the mountain chooses who makes it." Lena ignored the superstition. "We have the best equipment. We've studied the routes. We'll be fine." But Vera had other plans. 3 days into the climb, a sudden avalanche ripped through their path. Ria's leg was crushed under falling rocks. They had to turn back. As they carried Ria down, Javier looked at Lena with hollow eyes. "This mountain doesn't want us here." Lena clenched her fists. "I'll be back." 2 years later, Lena tried again, this time with a better team, better weather forecasts, and a new route. For a while, it worked. They made it past the avalanche zone, past the dreaded Ice Serpent Ridge. Then, at 20,000 feet, disaster struck. A blizzard trapped them for 3 days. Their supplies ran low. One climber, Elias, developed severe altitude sickness. They had no choice but to retreat. As they descended, Elias coughed weakly. "You're still going to try again, aren't you?" After her third failed attempt, Lena returned home exhausted, frostbitten, and broke. Marco found her sitting in their old house, staring at the mountain through the window. "Lena," he said softly, "maybe it's time to let go." Tears burned in her eyes. "I can't." "Why?" "For Dad? He wouldn't want you to, eh?" "It's not just for him," she snapped. "It's for me." She had spent her whole life chasing this dream. If she gave up now, what did that make her? Marco sighed. "Then at least don't go alone." This time, Lena went solo. No team. No distractions. Just her and the mountain. The first week was brutal. The cold gnawed at her bones. The thin air made every breath a battle. But she pushed forward, one step at a time. Then, at 24,000 feet, the storm hit. Winds howled like demons. Ice coated her goggles. Her fingers, numb and bleeding, fumbled for each grip. "You're going to die here," a voice whispered in her mind. Lena gritted her teeth. "Then I die climbing." She didn't know how she made it. One moment, she was clinging to the rock, certain she would fall. The next, the wind died. The clouds parted. And there it was, the summit. Lena collapsed to her knees, gasping. The world stretched endlessly below her, bathed in golden dawn. She had done it. Tears froze on her cheeks as she pulled out a small photo of her father and pressed it into the snow. "We made it," she whispered. When Lena returned to the village, they called her a legend. But she didn't care about fame. She had proven something far greater, that perseverance isn't about never falling. It's about getting up one more time than the mountain knocks you down.